is the greatest goddamn show on air. And I am Cole Clayton, and with me I have my sister, Ruby Red. What has been going on this week?
Nothing much. I had a birthday that just passed. That was cool. July 4th. That was fun. How was your July 4th?
It rained, so we kind of didn't do anything. I ended up cooking burgers on the stove. That had
Well,
everything already made. It wasn't supposed to rain either. So
that sucks. I was going to go to the park we had here in town because they were doing a fireworks show. They had like food vendors and they had like fun, like face paints, they had snow cones, all types of fun stuff, right? Well, around 8 or 9 o'clock, they're going to do a fireworks show, which is where like the city spends their own money and buys these big elaborate fireworks. I saw it last year, but I was there for like an hour and I was like, I can't do this. I have to go home. It's too hot. I can't do it. Just dripping down my face. And I even had a neck fan. I bought a neck fan on Temu, and it works good. But I was still too hot. Here's my neck fan.
how was your birthday, by the way? I know you came on Hamburger and Cheese. What did you end up doing anything afterwards?
No. I just
no.
Because like people are like you should
think about it.
Yeah. Well, people are like you should do something you want to do for your birthday. I do what I want to do every fucking day. Nothing stops me. I want to sit at home.
I do nothing every day. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's literally like. Do y'all do things you don't want to do? Oh my god. What's that?
Well, did you at least go out and eat? Or have like you said you want wings and shit, right?
Yeah, around lunch I did go out for some Chinese food, a Chinese buffet. I love Chinese food, bro. So yeah, I went and got myself like some coffee in the morning, and then me and my boyfriend like we watched TV. We went to the park a little bit. Like we did some things. I'm just not the kind of person that wants to go get like fucked up or like go to a club and party. Like that's not my vibe. I don't really. And I don't like it. I've tried.
I feel it. Like I don't like to do a whole lot either. I never really have.
And
hey guys, thanks for tuning in, by the way.
Huh?
So how old are you now? 22?
22.
Yeah, that was your first birthday that doesn't matter. Retweet that mood, yo. But yeah, that's your first birthday that doesn't matter. Like you don't have any birthdays that matter anymore. Like 30, I think counts. 40, 50. That's it, yo. Thank you, DD Cyber. I appreciate it.
I'm only here to remind you of how old you're getting.
I mean, lightweight. It kind of sucks. Like, that's the thing about being the oldest is you're like the oldest when you're all kids, and you're like, I'm the badass of the family. You know what I mean? Then like, when everybody's an adult, you're like, I'm gonna die first. Like, probably,
Yeah.
So, what'd you eat today? Have you had dinner yet?
Now that I think of it, I haven't eaten yet. I haven't eaten all day.
Thinking about having tacos in a minute.
Tacos are good. Okay, real tacos or like white people tacos though?
I haven't decided yet.
I like either. I fucks with either, so I don't care. Just slide me some tacos and I'll.
Right, there's no such thing as a bad taco. Like I hate that, like people are like snobby about like even Taco Bell's good. Like I don't care what anybody says,
Taco Bell is good. If nobody's tried that fucking cheesesteak, that grilled cheesesteak burrito from Taco Bell, y'all are missing out because that shit is fire, bro. It's so good.
With the Diablo sauce and shit. People are blowing up in our comments right now. Have you heard of the high elves? I have not. Fuck with like cilantro.
I love cilantro.
Do you like all the fixings? Like everything on a taco? I love it all, bro. Like fucking. Vanessa says you're pretty, Ruby.
How do you know she's talking to me? What if she's talking to you?
I doubt I'm the pretty one. Either way, I appreciate it. Yeah, all the fixes: cilantro, tomato, onions, cheese, sour cream. What else? Hot taco sauce. What else? Jalapenos.
Love it.
It's basically a burrito at this point. A girl, yeah. Well, that. Did you assume my gender?
On God, like I should sing.
I couldn't help it. I always wanted to do that.
Both are very pretty. It's because
Thanks,
we're related.
Charles. I
We're
appreciate that.
related. If you couldn't tell, that's my brother.
Yeah, we're siblings.
I think you can tell in the
Different
nose.
dads.
Actually, it might be the cheeks. I think our cheeks look alike.
Yeah, we got mom's cheekbones.
And like I have some of my mom, I have some of mom's nose, but I think I have some of my biological father's nose too.
Your biological fathers, as if you have a unbiological father.
Well, it feels weird saying father because like I don't really have one of those. So like if I just say my father, it's like you're gonna assume that I have one and I don't. So
HCR7, how you doing?
whenever you throw biological in front of it, people know that there's like no connection there. kind of like throwing that half in there. Like you notice how I said that's my brother? I didn't say that's my half brother.
Right.
That half is a little insulting.
This kind of. I only do that when y'all are getting on my nerves, though. I'm like, y'all are all my half siblings.
Dead ass. Like when I came back from visiting you, I looked at Austin and I was like, 2 of those are half siblings, by the way.
So let's get into this debate. You said you watched the RFK debate, huh? Was it? I didn't watch it. I about had enough of politics this last week or two.
He's so well spoken. First
He
of
is,
all,
even though like the voice thing, it takes you a minute to get over. Cyber 7. mom's going at it. So like what like curbed your enthusiasm, or like what kind of like caught your eye as far as the RFK debate?
first of all, he's answering the questions. That was a good move to actually answer the questions they give you instead of just like arguing with your opponent. That was pretty good. But he brought some things to our attention that maybe we weren't aware of. Like at the very end of it, he brought up that we actually launched missiles. We launched missiles into Ukraine and killed civilians. I should Google it because he said that just happened, and that's actually fucking insane. First of all, why did no one know this? Why did no one tell me? But he was talking a lot about like climate change and how he's an environmentalist, and they barely even touched on that in the actual debate. Like they really didn't say what their plan was to help climate change. So I guess they just didn't have one. But he was talking very actively about it. He said that that's something he does. So that was one thing he brought up. Another thing he brought up when they asked about the crisis involving like fentanyl and the drug epidemic, what are your plans to do about it? He said that he wants to. I took notes. He said he wanted to open up more rehab facilities, more wellness facilities, and more restoration facilities. He called them for free. Like he wants to help people at no cost. When was the last time you ever heard of a president wanting to do that?
None ever, if I'm honest. Like they're always warmongers to start,
Right, and that was another thing, which was something we brought up in our last podcast, was the fact that they were fear-mongering people. Instead of like saying, this is why I'm good, this is why you should vote for me, they kept saying, this is why he's bad, this is why you shouldn't vote for him. That's not what this debate is about. This debate, you're supposed to be selling yourself. You're not supposed to be tearing other people down. And RFK did not do that at all during his debate. He did not
which is exactly what our 2 most recent presidents just did.
Right.
He didn't the entire fucking time.
He didn't fucking, he didn't insult anybody. He wasn't talking about people's like outsider. He wasn't talking about how Trump's going through being a convicted felon. He didn't bring up Trump's charges or anything like that because that's not what we're here for. We're here for the people. We're here for America. We don't care what you got going on in your personal life. So that's another reason I liked him. And he also brought up the chronic disease that we're having in American citizens.
That's something that is getting swept under the rug right now, right?
Yes! Why is it that every motherfucker you run into has some type of autoimmune disease? They have a mental health issue. They've got diabetes,
Autism,
everything.
BPD, bipolar disorder,
Like, what is going on? And
cancer is getting real popular again.
he didn't get too much into why he thinks that is, but he alluded.
Down the podcast, he thinks it's the food supply.
Yeah, he alluded to it being the food for sure. And then he even talked about you remember that one question that they were asked and they both pretty much ignored about what are you going to do about the rising cost of childcare? Yeah, he actually answered the question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
somebody actually answered that question. That pissed me the fuck off, dude.
Yeah, he said, what did he say? He said that part of the reason the economy is so bad is because people aren't owning homes. If you own a home, you can use your home as like, what's it called, leverage when you're like taking out loans and stuff like that. So if you can never own a home, it's basically the same like concept of like good credit. You have good credit, so you can get nice things. If you don't have good credit, you can't really. It's the same concept with owning a home. When you have a home, you're able to like use it to get loans and stuff like that. And people can't do that. Part of the reason childcare is so expensive is because both parents have to have a job to be able to own a home. One of those parents may even need a second job to own a home. So here you have two parents trying to raise their kids, and they can't because they're spending
They're
like
trying to
over
provide
30,
a home for the kid.
yeah, over 30% of their paycheck is going to child care. So how is it that we're supposed to care for our child when all the money I'm making is going into the babysitting and the daycare and you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Just real quick, let's go through some of these comments. Like Kyle mentioned, checking you out at Sketched Out, your guest host debut on Wednesday with me. We're gonna have our guest CC Laird. Um, Kyle also says, sounds like you guys are reading my medical file, and I agree with that. Takedown politics are a turnoff. Byron says, money's down, homes are up. When money's down, credit suffers. It's a domino effect. Yeah, I mean, like 100%, right? Like, because how are homes up if nobody has the money for it? That doesn't even make any sense. You know what I mean? Other than the fact that they're selling houses to companies in other countries, like China and Ukraine and Russia are just buying up all the fucking real estate in this country. Vanessa says we look like we were Vikings in the past. Possibly. We're Vikings now. We're Vikings now. What you talking about?
Right. Now I'm looking up whatever RFK was talking about, those missiles that we were either sending to Ukraine or we sent. I think he worded that wrong. We didn't launch a missile at Ukraine. We were sending them missiles for like.
Yeah, we launched a missile at Russia supposedly in the Ukraine war.
Yeah, that we launched a. Why would we do that?
To start a war. That's the only reason why you would do that.
That's like the worst thing you could do for us is start a fucking war.
Yeah, but that's what everybody in like our whatever you call it, our whole all the bureaucrats, the politicians, and everything want us to go to war so bad because it's the only way they see as a quick turnaround for this economy. Which I'm just not for. I understand that our economy sucks right now, but I'm perfectly fine not turning it around quick and just doing the work to put in the work for it to slowly turn around over time.
Sorry, my light's bothering
Huge problem here too, Kyle, especially around Detroit and Cleveland. Detroit's kind of taken, kind of made a turnaround though. This is the only thing.
That's better.
Maybe wipe your lens down a little bit if you got it like a napkin or something. 'Cause you're getting like, there you go. That's better. Yeah, now we got a clear screen. You need a phone stand if you're gonna keep doing this kind of stuff.
I didn't think the podcast would last very long, if I'm just being honest here.
Why?
I don't know, okay? Because like there's been a lot of times in our life where like our family member has like tried something and it just didn't work out.
Well, you know, like we're all adults now, and just don't be lazy. You know, like I mean, you did a good job. You looked into the RFK thing, even though I really didn't think either one of us were going to, and I didn't.
You didn't, Jared. I also watched the fucking Neuralink video too.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Tell me about that.
So I was not aware that the first person to receive Neuralink was actually a quadriplegic. He doesn't have any functions of his limbs.
So he couldn't get away. Great.
No,
Kyle just laughed my ass off. I didn't think it would last. That's how Kyle is too. Kyle's like that.
Yeah, that was me.
And now Sketched Out is actually starting to like attract attention. That's the show I host with him.
Oh yeah, didn't he say something about me being on there next week?
This week, Wednesday.
Oh, I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot.
You're welcome. It's at 7:30 your time, by the way.
What was I talking about?
Oh, the Neuralink, the paraplegic.
So it was pretty much so he's a paraplegic, right? And I don't believe he was born that way. I believe it's due to an injury. So basically, you know what phantom itch is, right? So, or phantom limb syndrome is when someone who doesn't have their limb still feels it, right? And that's because of the neurons in your brain are still firing, which is pretty much the only reason you feel anything is because of the neurons in your brain telling you to feel it. So even though he still has these the neurons that still fire and still work in his brain, he can think to himself, move my right arm, and whatever he's doing on the Neuralink, like if he's using a mouse or something, on a computer, even though all he's thinking is move my right hand, it's moving his mouse. So and that doesn't just pertain to whatever limb. They're trying to do it to whatever you want. So if you're thinking in your brain, okay, well, I'm going to look left, but really to the Neuralink, it means you want to close this tab or something like that. That's what it's doing. Isn't that interesting? No, that's pretty cool because I thought it was like something weird that we didn't need. If they're using it to help people, like who don't have
well,
like.
That's how it always starts. The police was put in place to help people.
I think it's fucking cool because I told you I already like things that have to do with the brain, so I'm kind of interested.
Now it starts.
What are you afraid that the Neuralink will turn into?
A way to hack your brain.
Mind control. So you're afraid of mind control?
Yeah, turn us all into drones. Like if they don't have to draft us for war anymore. They don't have to convince us that war is good. They just turn us into war machines. Or whatever, turn us into slaves. Whatever it is,
Wouldn't they have done that already?
With the Neuralink?
Yeah, like
no, they have to convince us all to get one.
That's what he said, mind control, as if we aren't already. That's what I was kind of getting to, was like,
I'm not mind controlled.
I don't think people who are brainwashed know that they're brainwashed. Do they?
I know that I'm not.
But do you really?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I'm with mom on that one. I don't know about all that. I think I'm gonna watch other people try it first.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is like, mom, why would you need a Neuralink? You have all your arms. Like, you see
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm saying.
getting?
Give it to the less fortunate, but I don't need it.
It seems like it's made for a specific reason. It doesn't look like something that like what do I need a fucking Neuralink for? You know, like, and that was just, like one video I watched on it. Maybe there's other things that it does, but I feel like I don't need it because you see what I'm getting at. I don't need a Neuralink because my neurons do just fine. You
Yeah,
know,
I got a mouse thing. Clicky.
that's what I'm getting. Now, if it were to offer me something that I don't already have, which in this day and age, what the fuck can you offer me? I
So
don't.
it kind of brings up the thought, which this is really just off topic. It has nothing to do with anything. But when I was driving for Lyft, I ran into a lot of cool people. Um, and one of the people I drove was a lady who was developing state of the art technology for prosthetic limbs. And like what she was currently working on was trying to figure out how, like, one of the vets that she's working with lost his arm over like something happened, I guess, in Iraq or whatever. And he used to be a big bow hunter, so she's trying to develop an arm that has like the fast twitch and everything, and lets go at the same time with the fingers and everything for master bow hunting, which I thought was really cool. You know what I mean? So they're developing all kinds of cool prosthetics that can do the things that people do. You know, not just I can walk, I got a fake arm, it can shake hand. You know what I mean? Like real shit. You know. And she's using like 3D printers mostly. So
Pretty cool.
yeah. So like it seems to be in the next 20 years in our lifetime, really in we'll still be relatively like young functional members of society, or have the potential to be, when it doesn't even matter if you have all your limbs or not. You know what I mean? Life will, like, it will almost will be like it won't even affect you if you lose a hand or an arm or a leg or something, you know? So
I see what you're saying. Like, because we're coming up with so many ways to like combat that and help people. Sorry, I was reading that comment at the bottom.
yeah.
But I like things that are meant to help people. But like you said, a lot of things like that start out trying to help people. Like, oh, we're doing this to help people, and that's not. The intention isn't always the outcome. So
You
we'll
know what the
see.
problem I have with some of that kind of stuff though? Um Make the crippled superhuman and everyone else will be lining up to ship super soldiers. Yeah, I mean, Mom says he's crippled, really called it. Like, what other word do you want to use other than crippled? But the only problem I have with that is like in this day and age, nobody does anything unless money is like a monetary gain is involved. And it's like, are you really helping people, or are you like taking advantage of somebody's need? You know,
Good question. That's a good question. You're right, because what the fuck does Elon Musk give a fuck about this quadriplegic for?
me as
He
a billionaire, what do you think he gives a fuck about?
doesn't give a fuck. There's no. I see what you're saying. There's a bigger picture for sure. Damn, I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's why I'm so sick of ads lately because like now that I've
Dude, they're
come to
everywhere. I was just thinking about that today. I'm like, hey, you can't escape ads anywhere. Your phone, your TV, your computer, a fucking gaming device, everywhere there's fucking ads, man.
fucking everywhere, dude. And what I hate on YouTube when they'll try to give you like this questionnaire version, like a 30-second questionnaire, um, about like things you like or dislike. Like, don't try to get personal. I'm not going to tell you what ads to give me. Fuck you. I don't want your ads.
Right.
Because most of the time, and this may be weird, but like, I don't buy things I see in ads just because first of all, I don't need them. But secondly, I don't believe you. Like, you're not going to get me. I'm not fucking stupid. Like, people will see an ad and be like, oh, that looks good. And I'm like, it's probably not. It's probably a money-making scam that you're fixing to fall for. So I don't like ads anyway. They just piss me off. Now that I know, like, the intention. Because when I was younger and I would see commercials, I didn't really understand, like, the point of commercials. And that might be because I was homeschooled. Who knows?
Yeah, because you didn't have any money.
When I got older and I was like, they're just trying to fucking sell me shit all the time. I don't have any fucking money to give you. Stop it. That's brainwashing. Telling me that I need to buy this. No, the fuck I don't. I don't need any fucking thing. Jesus.
So, Kyle brought up a good point. Maybe don't bash YouTube while on YouTube. With that said, it's not really, I don't give a fuck about that as much. I'm still flying pretty under the radar, I think, for them to give a fuck. But I think I have a new appreciation for ads at the same time, even though they are everywhere, because now I'm getting ads. You know, I'm literally getting paid every single day. It's not much, make $1.50, $2 a day, you know, but it will add up, and it has the potential to increase, you know. So like, it's like I get it, but like Jesus Christ, sometimes, you know.
Don't get me wrong. Like, you'll see some commercials that are like, oh, that makes sense. Like, one time I saw a GoodRx commercial and I would just always have the jingle in my head, go to goodrx.com and find better deals from your pharmacy. Well, one day mom was looking for a pharmacy and she was like, I don't know where to get it the cheapest because I'm on a budget. And I was like, oh, mom, go to goodrx.com. They can tell you. And it worked. And it was free. So, like, don't get me wrong. Some shit does work, right?
The quality of ads, I think, also, the ads aren't even interesting. You know what I mean? Nobody puts any work into their commercials or their ads. They just, here's a thing that I'm forcing you to watch. You can't skip and you can't get away from. And it's not even like a fun little thing. You know what I mean? They need to bring back creative, like, writing for
But you're saying that with
ads.
the movies too, that people are just redoing movies. Like, I haven't seen an original movie in probably like 5 fucking years because everyone's just taking the same storyline and just putting different characters in it.
Yeah,
And some like Disney will straight up just remake the movie.
I think that has more to do with like we've given all this control to the rich. You know what I mean? Because the rich are like, well, we want it like this because we know it sells, and it's like that's not how entertainment works.
Like when Netflix
Entertainment has to be something new.
Like when Netflix started making it where like you can't have a certain amount of people on your Netflix. Like there, how many profiles? There's a limited number. There's a limited number of screens that can be on. Because I get it. You want your money. I get it. But you know what? Before you made all those rules, I didn't see that many fucking people stealing Netflix. Like, I didn't see that many people mooching off of Netflix until you raised the price so high. And then they'll like track your IP address, bro. Like, if you try to log in from a Netflix, like that's not yours and you're not in the area where they are, they'll be like, you're not at the same IP address. You can't use it. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did you just like?
So
what if it was my account?
Now.
Yeah, what if it was my account and I was like out of town or something, But it was that
you
shit.
can say that. There's that option. You say I'm traveling or whatever. You have to put in your address.
No, they'll verify it. No, they'll verify it.
Yeah, they have to verify.
They'll make sure you're out of town.
All they do is you just have to put in all your information. You just say I'm traveling, but then they just turn off your ability to watch it at at your home until you get back or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was at some point. It just felt like too much. Like, do you want us to watch your shitty TV shows or not?
Do I watch shitty? Oh yeah.
That's basically what I was saying to Netflix. You want us to watch your shitty TV shows or not? Because you're just like coming up with so many rules and you're kind of not that cool anymore. And you're not the only platform anymore. For a long time, it was, oh, do you have Netflix? Do you have Netflix? Yeah. Now we got fucking Hulu. We got fucking Roku TV. We got fucking what else? Peacock. There's so many other places now.
That's kind of, I've kind of stated that recently too. The cable had all these commercials, and you paid $150 a month for it. You know what I mean? And then Netflix came along and was like, "Look, for $5 or whatever, $8 or whatever it was when it first started, you can watch whatever you want, whenever you want, no commercials." And people are like, "Huh? You can do that?" And then everybody started jumping ship on cable. And then obviously all these other sites like Hulu and Peacock and everything, they all came out with their version of that. And then cable was left for dead. Now all these places are starting to add ads to it on top of the fact that we're paying for it. If you want ads, make a free version. You might actually make more off the ads if you give it to the free people. And then there's always people who will be like, "I don't want to watch ads. I'll pay the premium subscription." You know what I mean? But if you make me watch it, you make me watch ads while I'm also paying for it. This is why I love YouTube actually. Because YouTube doesn't. There's a premium subscription where you don't have ads, and if it's free, ads. I don't have a problem with that at all. But having to watch ads when I'm already paying for your subscription, that's just corporate greed. That's evil. You know what I mean? And that does not create a loyal customer. What do you think is going to happen? Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, Disney Plus. What do you think is going to happen when the next best thing comes along? Because you're treating us the same way cable treated us.
Exactly. Fuck cable.
Blockbuster, all these motherfucking companies were destroyed by Netflix. What do you think is going to happen when somebody else comes along and says, "You know what? No ads. You get free ads, no ads." Somebody's going to come out and do some shit. And it's just an endless perpetual cycle because that company, I'm sure, will eventually be like, "Well, we're going to start doing it now since we have no competition." You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Man,
But
I remember times like, first of all, we didn't always have cable. Okay, we had this busted up antenna from the dollar store, from the Dollar Tree, that would work some of the time. Do you remember that? I remember that. We'd
at
have
the
to like,
dollar store?
yeah, you can buy an antenna like at the dollar store, like a Walmart, like
Oh, yeah. Okay.
keep it and like hook it up to your TV and like, man, that it was rough times. But I'm not gonna lie, the antenna was pretty good. Like if you could find that fucking right spot, if you had the magic touch, bro, you was watching TV all night. I liked the antenna better than I liked cable. I don't know why I didn't fuck with cable that much.
All the streaming networks bid against each other by programs and inflate the cost. Then they charge you more because of their overspending. Yeah, like they're putting their problems onto their consumer, their customer, and they're not treating us like valued customers. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. You know what I just realized? Off topic. But I realized I've been sitting here trying to figure out when I want to apply to college. Because I figured out I do want to go to college. But it's kind of been like a fact of when. And I was trying to figure out why I'm waiting. Like, why are we waiting? Why do we feel so unsure about it? It's because it's election year. So I want to see who gets elected before I go to college. Because if this is another 4 years of some fuck shit, I can't afford it. Like, and that's for both. If Trump or Biden get elected, I can't afford to go to college because they have fucked the economy so bad. And they're going to do it again. Did you know that President
well,
Trump...
you need to accept that it's probably going to be one of them.
No, it's not. It's got to be RFK. Oh my God. It's got
That's
to
who
be.
I want, but I just don't see it.
It's got to be.
Don't see it.
Did you know that Biden denied him Secret Service?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. The audacity.
A Kennedy.
That's
His
crazy.
own father was killed because of the inability for the Secret Service to even take care of him.
The Secret Service was formed like 3 or like a week after his father was murdered. Like we have the Secret Service because his dad died.
No, because his uncle.
Are you sure? They didn't form it
Mhm.
after Kennedy got shot.
There was his dad had Secret Service. His uncle didn't. His dad died, I think, 3 or 4, maybe 5 years after his uncle did. His uncle's actually president. His dad was running. He was leading in the polls. He was going to win.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Holy shit.
months before the election, even.
That's crazy. But to deny him Secret Service, and I think he said that like this is like one of the first times in history that a presidential candidate had been denied Secret Service when asked for it.
This
Like,
late in the year, this late in the election, yeah.
that's fucking insane. I can't believe that. That's like abuse of power. It should be considered abuse of power. That's a
Yep.
Kennedy. That's crazy. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wait till after this election and see who's gonna be president before I decide to go to college, just so I know what I'm getting into. Like, if it's another 4 years with Biden, I can pretty much assume that Biden's eventually gonna leave office and leave it to the vice president. Okay, I really feel like if Biden gets elected again, there's no way he's gonna
Do you
make
know
that.
how terrible that would be for like female politics?
Yeah, it'd be pretty fucking sucky. It'd be pretty shitty.
Because not only would she be like a bad one, but like
The first one too.
she would be the only way she would win is if like like that would imply that a woman president only got it because the man stepped down. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you want to win it the right way?
Yeah, don't you? Yeah, yeah. See, you get it. You get it. But so that's how I feel if Biden gets elected. Okay, that's what I'm going to go through. Not all of it, but just some of it. And if Trump gets reelected, we're just going to be broker than we were before, because I don't know. He like got so much debt, it was insane.
I don't know, because the debt was like it didn't affect us.
Yes, it did.
The America's debt is nothing to do with me and you per
Yes,
se.
it does. Yes, it does. It actually does have it has a lot to do with why the economy is the way it is. Them because they have to print more money because they're so in debt, and then the money
I haven't had an
loses.
experience.
The
It's
money
not, but
loses
America's debt has nothing to do with you and my debt. What the problem is, well, furthermore, this might cause more war. Um, but I think Trump says he wants to get rid of uh, income tax, which means that you will get more of your paycheck. So that's good for us, but that may cause war because the way he wants to do it is put tariffs on imported like goods from other countries, and other countries may not want that. So either way, I think either one of these presidents is going to push us into war.
Yeah, I could see that. Another point that RFK brought up in his debate, he said that he wants to basically decriminalize weed, not just decriminalize it. I think he said deschedule it and start.
Take it off the fucking narcotics list altogether. He should.
Yeah, he wants to deschedule it and start taxing it, because that would be like, that would help out our government a lot when it came to our debt, because they would make so much more money, first of all. Okay, and then with it being descheduled and decriminalized, you would have less people in and out of jail. You would technically have less criminals. You would have less people like breaking the law. So I feel like that's just a good reason to vote for him all around. Like, he wants to legalize marijuana and tax it. Like, I'm okay with that if it helps
Should.
the economy. Hell
What's
yeah.
up, red guy? How you doing? You should tax marijuana.
You
That
should.
honestly, look, I don't understand why everybody has like a problem with weed. It's very clearly going to bring us out of like
The
the
recession.
recession. You know what I mean? Like, hey, red guy, I already said hey. Um, but Like, you just everybody likes it. Fuck off. This is America. You're supposed to listen to your people. You know what I mean? This government, it literally says "we the people" right at the beginning of the first legal document of this country. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, people who have anything against them taxing the marijuana, why? They're already taxing your cigarettes. They're taxing your alcohol.
I think that's where everything should go is sales tax. We shouldn't have property tax. If I own it, it's mine. Fuck you. But and we should not have. You should not tax my income. How the fuck do you expect me to buy anything? Like we should have a 30% sales tax across the board. Everything should be 30%, maybe except for like staples like bread and milk and eggs and stuff like that. But like 30% across the board on everything else you can think of. I can buy what the fuck I want, and everybody's still making the same amount of fucking money. And I like the tariffs idea. I'm not gonna lie. Put tariffs on imported goods and everything. Charge the fucking foreigners.
Yeah, dude. Like I feel like Biden and Trump really missed out on not legalizing marijuana to the fullest extent and profiting off of it. Oh my god, like you're gonna see so much fucking cash flow because I don't know, just the feeling of knowing that weed would no longer be illegal, it's just gonna make a lot of people feel better. You know, like we're not all gonna have to be like freaking the fuck out, okay? And the thing is, the same rules are pretty much gonna apply, like you said, um, that they do to alcohol. You know, like you can't drink and drive, you can't be drunk in public, and you know, there's certain things you can't do under the influence of marijuana and under the influence of alcohol. So if they schedule them the same way, what's the problem with it? I don't see a problem with it.
Right.
But hey,
Make
I'm not
it
I'm not
just tax,
president. So we're
tax
gonna
it. People like it, so just get over it. Like I don't all these conservatives and old ass people in our that's really what we need to do. I'm 30, you're 22, we're both voting age, you know what I mean? We're younger, we're a young voter. We Everybody in our age group needs to start fucking voting truly and start pushing towards having younger 40s and 50s, 35 to 55 in offices, mayors, local offices, governors, senates. We need to figure out how to get the Supreme Court, like all those people out. The fact that they don't have an election and they just sit in there for fucking ever is stupid. We need young people, youngish people. When I say young people, not 80 in offices across the country on every board who are generally like-minded like the rest of us,
Yeah, I'm saying we need someone, closer to like 40s, 50s. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
60s
somebody you can
too
actually
early.
fucking relate to for the most part. Somebody who has been around a computer, like, oh shit.
Clearly they're still trying to run the country in ways that worked 40, 50 years ago.
I I
But
feel like
we're too
I
advanced
feel
for
like
it.
we should set every person in office right now across the entire country, whether it's mayor, something low, city council, president, um, Supreme Court, Senate, governor, whatever. Everybody who's in any judge, everybody, police chief, and you sit a computer in front of them and you ask them to open a Microsoft Excel and use it properly, and if they can't, without help, without coaching, you're out. You're fucking out. You're done. This is your last term. You are retiring at the end of this term. That's it. We're moving the
Mhm.
fuck on.
And you know what? You want to know something? And no, I might stir some people up with this, but I was a child during all of Obama's presidency, but he ran for 8 years, okay, because he was elected twice, okay, back to back. And I feel like we were not having as many problems that we're having right now. You know, I hear a lot of people talk mad shit about Obama, and I really think it was because he was black. Because Trump and Biden have fucked this country up in the last with Trump and then Biden and then Trump or Biden again. Oh Jesus, we're fucked. And it was not this bad under Obama's presidency.
Yeah, Obama seems to be like the one, like, I don't think a whole lot happened, but he kind of did, like, kind of get us out of what Bush did to us. You know what I mean? Honestly, the last, like, that's where this, I'm gonna lose everybody right here. But the last two decent presidents we've had were Obama and Clinton. I don't, and I don't like like, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not. I'm actually an independent, right down the middle. I almost fall libertarian in a lot of ways, but yeah, the last two fucking good presidents we had. Well, I can't even think of the last great Republican president we've had. Truly,
Right, but
I mean, all the great ones are Democrats. You know, Kennedy, Lincoln. I think I think yeah, uh, FDR. All Democrats. All these guys are Democrats. Those are the great. Those are the of the people. The only, and he's my favorite president. The only great Republican president we've had, honestly, in the last century and a half, is fucking Teddy Roosevelt. But he was of the people. He was of the people. You know what I mean? I'm all about some of the people. Lincoln was Republican, but he fits more Democrat now. You're right. You are right. He was Republican at the time, but he kind of fits more Democrat. He has more progressive values. But yeah, Kyle says I can run for president in 5 years.
sure the
I doubt I would run for president. If I ran for president with my mouth, I would get shot.
But yeah, I was just making a note of how I feel like Obama got shitted on a lot. Even like to this day, sometimes I'll still hear people try to talk shit about Obama. But he, like, his biggest scandal was when his teenage daughter was caught smoking a cigarette. Like, do you remember that when that was a whole thing? And it was all over the tabloids.
Or he wore a tan suit.
Look at us now. Look at us now. Look what you did.
You know, what I liked about Obama is he was like legitimately funny.
He was funny. He
Could
like
actually crack a joke. Not like Trump funny. Trump is just, the
vulgar.
things Trump says are funny because we're making fun of him, where with Obama we were laughing with him. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. Like, I feel like Obama would be so fucking hilarious. Imagine him with like 2 whiskeys in him, just chilling at a party.
A
Obama would be
blunt,
like the
a
coolest guy
blunt.
here, bro. But
No,
I would
imagine
never.
Obama. Imagine Obama with a blunt.
And Obama was like so respected. Like, I know he got a lot of hate, but when he would like go out in public on like a stroll or like a walk, or like, people would just like run up to him and like tell him how much they loved, in a polite manner, not in a weird obsessive manner like some people can get. But even people who just didn't like him respected him. You'll see people these days just like say the most outlandish shit to the president, like holding up signs and just disrespecting him to the fullest extent. That was not that bad with Obama. I do not remember it being that bad.
What's crazy is, like, he's not even like fully black. He's half white.
And people hated on him so hard for it. Wanted his birth certificate. Wanted proof.
He was born in Hawaii.
What did it matter?
Yeah,
I didn't care.
well, I don't know. Well, because it turns out, I found out recently that, like, if you live in America for a certain amount of time and you're naturalized, you can run for president. So I don't understand why they even brought that up.
Yeah. Facts.
But not nobody has ever been president who wasn't born here, except for maybe George Washington.
And
I
people
think even George Washington was born here.
and people loved his wife, Michelle Obama. Oh my god, people loved her. She was on like Disney Channel and like Nickelodeon. She was on like, she like people were excited to have her like on their show. Like, look who we're having. Like, and she also cared about children's lunches. You remember that? I remember that. When she went in there and she changed the kids' lunches and made it like more nutritious and everything like that.
That's what I don't like about. That's what I didn't like about Obama, and that's what I don't like about most of these presidents these days. Is they let their wives bullshit. It's like, you're retarded. Get the fuck out of here. You're just married to him. Go do your job. Go do your career. This is the man's hour. He ran. He became president. If you want to become president, you go become president. That worked out great for Hillary Clinton. Let's see how you do it. All right, get the fuck out of here.
I was just comparing the way she was treated.
Michelle Obama was always chatting like she was president. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
But that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is how, like, the way she was treated. People
loved her because she was a Democrat. Democrats like to hear women speak.
But nobody cares about Trump's wife. Nobody cares about Biden's wife.
Because Jill's been doing a lot of fucking. Jill Biden's been doing all kinds of talking lately.
I've never even seen what she looks like.
She's been all over the fucking news lately. You should check it out.
Maybe all over your news, you fucking millennial. But she's not all over my news. And Michelle Obama was all over my news, like when I first got into social media, like as a child. Like everyone loved Michelle Obama.
Yo, what is burning? No burning something.
I'm just comparing the differences, okay? I'm just like saying Obama's biggest scandal was his kid smoked a cigarette and everybody loved his wife. Now look at us, okay? People think Biden has dementia. Trump's a convicted felon. Okay, you don't hear shit out of their two fucking wives. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, you hear a lot from Jill Biden, okay? You hear a lot from Jill, all right? You don't hear shit from Trump because Republicans keep their wives in line.
Okay.
They do. That's what they do.
But anyway, yeah, I'm surprised neither of them, Trump or Biden, brought up the chronic illness amongst people these days.
Because they don't give a fuck. They're going to be dead in like 10 years.
True. I mean, it's just outrageous. I can't be the only one who's noticed. Even people have been saying like, oh, like the holidays don't feel the same, and like, but everybody I asked today at work, because I'm a server, so I got to talk a lot. How was your 4th of July? Did y'all have a barbecue? Did y'all have a cookout? Did y'all do fire? No, I just stayed home. I just watched TV.
Everybody's sad, dude. Yeah. Everybody is so sad and broke.
That's literally what JFK said. JFK said we raised a whole generation of people who are so stressed out and so depressed that they're becoming drug addicted. Okay, and it's crazy. It's crazy what it's done to us, and he's the only one acknowledging it right now.
Mom says, Kyle, this family would never pass the FBI checks. The first lady's job is philanthropy, and I don't think Biden will last another term. I don't think Biden's going to last another term, even if he loses. But definitely not if he wins. But no, these guys. That's another thing I want to bring up real quick. If you have two 80-year-olds running for president, you got to think. Anytime a president has like 2 terms, whatever they do affects the next 20 years at least. Reagan still affects us to this day. That was over 40 fucking years ago. So if you're not even going to be alive in 20 years, there's no fucking way either one of these guys are going to live to 100. You know what I mean? We already know about Biden. Trump eats McDonald's like it's going to run away. The fact that Trump's still here is crazy. They're not going to be here when their effects finally start wearing off. Why do you want to run? Why do you not care? You only have a good 10, 15 years left. I wouldn't even say good 10 or 15 years left. You only have 10 or 15 years left in your life. Why the fuck do you want to run for president? You're a fucking narcissist. And you fucking know it. The fuck off the platform. Give it to somebody young. I'm sorry, even RFK is a little bit too old for me. Even he's a little bit too old. But he's the better fucking option. Because he's 10 years younger. That's insane.
It is insane. You want to make a bet right now? Okay, I'll bet you $20 that Trump's going to win.
I don't have any doubt. I'm not going to take the bet because I don't have any doubts. I've been thinking that. I've been thinking that for probably 2 years now.
You've been thinking, okay. I was thinking the same thing. Like, I
want RFK to win, but I don't think so. Should have voted in Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders got the fucking RFK treatment, which is like fucking the Democrats would not let him run as a Democrat. They did the same thing to RFK. They would not let either of them run as Democrats. They said no, which is insane. That means they're obviously choosing who can be nominated.
Why did they say no?
Look it up. I don't know how to explain it,
That's
but
weird.
look it up. RFK and Bernie. Bernie the last term, RFK this term. They pretty much boxed him out of running under the Democratic nominee. Look it up. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it. I wouldn't be able to articulate it right now. But yeah, we can talk about it next week if you want.
Yeah.
And I will look it up because I didn't know you were going to look this up this time. So, but I will actually if we do decide to talk about it.
Like, circle this up. The same thing that happened to Bernie Sanders is probably what's going to happen to RFK. Is the fact that people don't want to do outside research, and I can't blame you. I didn't really want to fucking do any outside research on RFK either, but I'm glad I did because when he was talking, it made a lot of sense. And I think that's just what it is. I don't think people I don't think people care enough to like seek out other candidates. I think they're just worried about the two that's on the TV right in front of them, and they don't give a fuck.
And they're boxing RFK out off of the TV. They wouldn't even let him be in the debate.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Like, we need to get people more aware. Like, I need to start seeing more campaign for RFK because I haven't seen any. Like, people need to listen to him because he's
gonna start watching podcasts.
He's gonna be our saving grace. Honestly, we need him. We need him bad.
And we have to promote him on our stuff as much as possible. I've been promoting him all the time, but yeah, you see him more on social media than you do on TV. I don't know. Do you have cable? Is that what you watch? No. You're not really on social media either. That's the problem.
I'm on social media. I'm on all of them.
Sure, but you're not on there.
I don't give them out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like.
But you're not. What I'm saying is, you're not on social media like a normal Gen Z. You're not on the internet.
I'm on social media, but I'm not like that active on it. You know, I'm not posting on it like every day. Like, I'm not like, I don't use it as like a.
That's where you're gonna find RFK is on the internet. You know, that's why you haven't heard much about him.
I'll start promoting his stuff more because, like, it was really enlightening hearing what he had to say.
I'm glad you really did look him up because I've been telling you for what 6 months now. Yeah, you're like, eh.
I know. But I mean, good thing I did. Now I can start doing the same thing.
Hell yeah. Anything? Any last words?
Not really.
No?
I've been trying to get my boyfriend to watch Game of Thrones with me.
Have you watched it yet?
I've seen about 3 or 4 seasons in, and I gave up on it.
Yeah.
So I'll commit to rewatching it with him.
Season 5 is a great season, though. I will say. Voting for Harambe, or however you spell that dead gorilla's name again. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the likes and the comments and everything. Please check us out every Saturday about this time. And every other Saturday, next Saturday, me and my son like to cook. Every other weekend meals. This Wednesday, I'm doing Sketched Out. Usually, I have my buddy Kyle, who's in the comments. He's taking the week off, and me and Ruby are she's going to be guest hosting. That's where we have a guest on, and we show their funny little sketches that they put on social media and stuff like that. Every Tuesday, this Tuesday, every Tuesday, Hammer and Cheese, where I get drunk and cook. And actually, this Monday, I'm having a guest host for Last Minute History, and we're going to be talking about pirates. Thank you so much, and peace the fuck out.